Now, in problem number 16, we're looking at revenues for music sales, and I'm just going to run through the last sentence. If I can find it here, it says, right just before answer, it says, how much revenue was earned from digital sales in each of these three categories? And the three categories are pop rock, tropical, and urban Latin. So we're going to let our variables be the number of dollars brought in by each one of these types of music. So we'll start here by letting X be the revenue earned by pop rock. Then we can say Y, that will be ... the revenue earned by tropical. And Z, our last category, that'll be the revenue brought in by urban Latin music. So here's what we know. Go back to the beginning and start reading through. It says, in the year 2009, the total revenue from all of these types of music was 28 million. So here's what we do know. We know that X plus Y plus Z, right? That's going to be the total of these three categories. That's 28 million. Then it says that tropical brought in twice as much as urban. Now let's get that here. Tropical, that's Y. That is twice as much as urban. So Y is twice as much as Z. So we can write that as Y equals 2Z, right? That makes sense. The Y value, that's the amount of revenue from tropical, that is twice the amount from the urban. And in that same sentence, it says that pop rock brought in 10 million more than the other two combined. All right, so pop rock, that's X. So X is 10 more than the other two combined. Here's the other two. You combine these, you get Y plus Z, but 10 more, so we're going to add 10. So we know here that X, pop rock, is the other two combined, Y plus Z, but 10 more. So we have to add 10 to that. Let's go up here on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into a matrix, and we're going to RREF this matrix, right? We're going to input matrix A, so I'm going to put into matrix A this. Here's matrix A. Now just go down here and put in these coefficients. I'll read down the columns. 1, 0, 1. So we'll get a 1, 0, 1. Second column, 1, 1, negative 1. So 1, 1, negative 1. And then the third column, 1, negative 2, negative 1. So 1, negative 2, negative 1. There's our vertical line for the equal sign, and our constants are 28, 0, and 10. So we're going to do an RREF on this matrix. And when I did that one, I got this. Okay, so it's RREF, so we know it's this form, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. There's that main diagonal form. And for constants, I got 19, 6, and 3. 19, 6, and 3. Let's just check something here. Look at this Y value. The Y value is 6. Now over here, it says that the Y value is twice the Z value. Sure enough, 6 is twice the 3. And then it also says that, back over here now, that the X value is these two combined and 10 more. So if I take Y and Z, I get 9, and 10 more, that's the 19. Looks like we've got the right answer here. So the question is, where's the question? It says, how much revenue was earned from digital sales in each of these three categories? So what we can say here is now that, okay, in this category here, X, that was pop rock. So we can say that pop rock brought in $19 million in revenue, and then tropical, that brought in $6 million in revenue, and urban Latin, that brought in $3 million in revenue. Reading through problem 17, it says the manufacture of an automobile part requires, okay, so to get this part, you have to have painting, drawing, and polishing. Now, those are not categories. I think those are going to be characteristics. Let's look at the next sentence. The manufacturer produces 3 types of parts, A, B, and C. All right, so each part requires painting, drawing, and polishing. So go down to the last sentence. It says this. How many of each type of part? There we go. So those are our categories. So why don't we do this? Why don't we let X equal the number of, now we have 3 types of parts. Why don't we let this be type A of part type A. Y, this will be the number of part type B, and Z, this will be the number of part type C. So here's our categories. We have A parts, B parts, C parts, and then totals. Now here you could write, if you liked, X, Y, and Z. Here's our categories, and each category, each type of part has certain characteristics, right? Certain characteristics. Each part requires painting, drawing, and polishing. So let's write that. We'll have painting, drawing, and, another P. How about POL for polishing? Okay. Let's set this up. Now, as I read it, it says each type, third sentence, each type A part requires 8 hours of painting. So A, I'll write it in here, 8 hours of painting, 2 hours for drawing, 1 hour for polishing. And B parts, it's going to be 10, 3, and 2. B requires 10 hours of painting, forgot the numbers here, 3 hours of drawing, and 1 hour for polishing. Let me be sure I got that right. 10, 3, 2. That's a 2. 10, 3, and 2. I'm going to double check again. 10, 3, and 2. And each C type is 16, 5, and 3. So this is going to be 16, 5, and 3. Now, here's what we have available. For painting, we have 240 hours available. For drawing, we've got 69 hours available. And 41 hours for polishing. 41. So here's our matrix A, right? There's our matrix A. And we're going to perform an RREF on matrix A. But before we do that, if we want to write our system, it would look like this. Reading from the top row, right? 8x plus 10y plus 16z is 240. So we're going to get this. 8x plus 10y plus 16z equals 240. And then we'll get 2x plus 3y plus 5z, that's 69. And our last equation will be x plus 2y plus 3z, that's 41. There's our system. So if the problem asks us to write the system, this is what we're going to write. But then to solve the problem, we're just going to take our matrix A, which just pops out right here, and do an RREF on that. And here's what I got when I did the RREF, right? I got a 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, of course, 0, 0, 1, and then for the constants, I got 10, 8, and 5. So we're asked, how many of each part did the manufacturer use? Well, we can see we used 10, x, right? X is 10, but what is x? Follow it all the way back up. X is the number of type A parts. So what we're going to write here is then, we will write that the manufacturer used, and then let's write our answer here. We'll say 10 type A parts, 8 type B parts, and 5 type C parts. There we go. All done.